Bones are amazing things. They hold us up, they support us, they make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. My name is Jeremy and I'm playing Julian, Trusts No One, Illix.
My name is Jordan and I'm playing... Oh, what? Game? Pot stickers? What? Oh, I'm the GM, yeah.
I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Jerr. Where did everyone go? Lan.
I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Sam. So what if I'm in your house? Feluge.
And I'm Johnny, I'm playing Chime. I've been kidnapped by my brother.
Dun, dun, dun. So, in our last session... Sam decided that he was going to be proactive and just do a little investigating on his own.
A little B&E.
Unfortunately, it wasn't an investigation of someone who might be against them. It was, investigate the people that you're supposed to be working with.
Sam wanted to make sure he was headed in the right direction.
Yeah, gotcha.
Now, granted, Shade was more interested than Sam was. Sam was going to wait, but Shade was insistent that Sam need to know what was behind that door and in that trunk and under the bed and in the other bedroom.
He was feeling particularly curious.
On the arson board. Meanwhile, Julian doesn't like people going through his things. Jerr has been confronted with an ugly truth that he had been trying to avoid, but now really can't turn away from anymore. The fact that his existence has been fairly well documented, if you just want to spend all night connecting the dots. And then poor Chime, who really takes a lot of the beatings in this particular game. Chime got kidnapped by your brother. He seemed like a nice guy at the first part. Chime.
Yeah.
How would you like to wake up?
In my own bed.
Oh, no, I wasn't asking, how you would like to wake up. I was asking if you would like to wake up at all.
Well, yeah.
Okay, cool. You wake up. You're tied to a chair. It's a dark and shadowy, cavernous room that you're in. And it smells damp. You can hear running water.
Okay. What can I see?
It doesn't seem like you can see a lot. It's a rather tall room, a couple stories high. You can see rows of what looks like aqua rail barges, and it looks like they're off, basically dry dock. They're up on racks.
Okay.
Like a storage facility for the aqueduct barges.
Theoretically, I should know what part of the city I'm in just from that.
There's a couple of the different barges, like one at the end of each spoke, but you can tell from the coloring that you are at the end of the southeast spoke.
Alright. Well, how tightly am I tied?
Your wrists are tied behind you. They're tied together. It feels like there's a couple of ropes going across your chest.
Okay, so it's a high back chair.
Mm-hmm.
Do I hear anything besides the water?
Yeah. It sounds like you can hear somebody working. Tuneless whistling and the clank and clatter of metallic tools being used.
But I can't see anybody.
No. Sounds like it's coming from behind you.
Alright. Can I see where the water is at? From where I'm sitting?
Yes, the water is to your right. And it looks like it's an actual, flowing from one end of the room to the other.
That's what I figured. Just a through passage where they can load and unload the carriages. First thing I'm going to do is try to get my hands loose.
Okay.
What should I roll?
That sounds like
physique or
contortion.
Reflexes?
I was thinking reflexes, yeah.
There's actually a contortion skill.
Yeah.
There is. I don't have it boosted, but yeah. That is a 6.
It seems like the rope isn't going to give at this point.
Okay. What's the chair tied to made out of?
It's a folding chair. It's a high-backed folding chair.
Okay. Are my legs tied to the chair?
Yes, each ankle is tied to the leg of the chair.
Darn. I'm still going to try to just get up onto my feet enough that the chair's not on the floor. Just lean forward and just try to turn around a little bit
Okay.
so I can see what's behind me.
As you're doing that, all of a sudden, the whistling just seems to pick up speed. And you can crane your head around enough so that you can see the little girl on one side of you
The same little girl
that you saw before.
control her head.
Yes. And you can... It smells like some burning.
Well, that's not surprising.
Some heat is coming off. And you can smell it. If you look over your other shoulder, you can see the little boy. It smells like burning salt.
But they're fairly far apart from each other.
Yes.
I'm still going to turn around so I can be facing the girl.
Oh, you're awake? Okay, time for him to slow down. And she stops the flames from her hands. And the whistling slows down to a normal sounding speed.
Why am I here?
You can hear finally Choler. He's like, "Oh, there you are, finally." You know, it's amazing how you get lost in your work and you don't know what's going on around you sometimes. But why are you here? Well, you were looking for the GX35, weren't you?
I was not.
Then why were you talking to Crom?
I'd not heard of GX35 until I talked to him. What do you have to do with GX35?
I don't know if I believe you. But that's neither here nor there. We all know how Chime is the one who bends the truth. I'm sorry, what were you asking?
Why am I here? Why did you kidnap me?
Well, I couldn't have you asking questions. And I thought you wanted to find out about the GX35. So, thought I'd show you.
Show me what this GX35 is.
You know what? You really can't see anything tied to the chair. You promise to be on your best behavior?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Hold still. Darling, be a dear and go ahead and free him. Okay. Whatever you say, Daddy. And so she comes over behind you, and you can smell the ropes burning near your hands.
I pull against the ropes so as soon as they're free, my hands are free.
And it ravels apart. And then the same for your feet and for the lines around your chest.
I stand up to scrub my wrists.
You turn around and you can see Choler is working on one of the barges. And he's got some giant canisters, some oil drum-sized canisters. Well, this is the GX35.
And let me guess, you're going to put it onto the barge, send it somewhere else in the city?
Well, partially correct. What we're going to do... Oh, come here, let me show you. You've been in one of these barges before, right? Everybody has.
Yes.
Well, you know that one thing that they do is they have heating and cooling systems built in, right?
Uh-huh.
Come on in.
Look around inside of it before I step inside.
Okay. He puts his arm around your shoulder and kind of pulls you gently into the barge. He's like, "Now look here. Do you see these?" And he points to the vents that run along the ceiling of the barge.
Okay.
So, here's a little secret. The Council, in their infinite wisdom, thought that they could weaponize fire.
Well, yeah. They showed that with people like you in your service.
No. I mean, not in a natural way. I mean, through the use of chemicals like this. He hacks one of the steel containers.
What you say have with chemicals when they have willing servants?
Because you just introduce a little bit of this GX35 into the air, it turns any container that it starts filling to a bomb. All it takes is one spark, and a blink of fire above his fingers appears and then goes out. All it takes is that.
You know what happened at the bar the other night?
Maybe. You wouldn't want me to spoil everything now, would you?
I would love for you to. It's not like You gonna let me go tell anybody?
Probably not. But you can see all of these barges.
Uh-huh.
We just spent the last 45 minutes installing canisters into the air ventilation systems for each and every one of these.
Your goal is to take out the entire aqua rail and everybody who rides on it?
All of it? I don't know. Maybe just a few key stations. Just so that they know that the council is weak.
I wouldn't call the council weak. I wouldn't say they're the best group of people.
You see, this will prove to them once and for all that elementals should be the ones that rule Consiglio, that rule North Belisara, that rule the world.
I think there are better ways to do this.
I'm not looking for your approval,
I know you're not.
and I'm not looking for your input. What I am looking for is a passenger.
That's how you plan to kill me?
Let's just consider it an early retirement.
Caller, you know that there are much better ways than terrorism to make things happen, don't you?
People have tried for centuries to make a difference.
In other countries, not so much here at North Belisara.
You don't know the real history of this place. You don't know what has really been done in the name of the council. And you don't know the kinds of people that have tried to stop it. And you think that other ways have proven efficient?
There have been several significant changes.
There have been changes, but we're still not held in the proper amount of reverence that we should be.
I don't know what you mean. I mean, the city runs on people like yourself.
But it is not ruled by people like me. It is not ruled by me. And that's where the things are imbalanced.
So, you thought you should replace the council.
Can you think of anybody better?
Be a governing body.
They're bogged down, slow, inattentive. Need somebody with force of will.
Controller, it's been proven throughout all of history that tyrants or dictators should not be the way a country is run. Yeah, they may institute lots of changes in their lifetime, but it's never for the better of the entire city. So you know the true history, and you should know that.
The problem is that nobody has learned how to harness more than one elemental. They can harness two. Maybe they can combine their powers in interesting ways.
Well, why not harness all four then?
Maybe I will.
Like I said, a governing body.
I like how you think, but I've got to get back to work now. Darling? Yes, Daddy? Aelin, could you watch him for me, please? You and Abel need to practice. I specifically want you to make sure that he can see you juggling your fireballs. Okay, Daddy. Where should we do it? Just sit him down over in that corner. He'll be a nice, gentle uncle for you. He knows what's good for him. And scene.
I think I held my cool decently.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Well, we were sort of discussing timing in between. Jerr would probably only be like 10, 15 minutes behind Julian. So maybe that took...
You wouldn't be running like you were, though.
Well, yeah, no, you wouldn't. That whole thing at Julian's building probably took, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
So conceivably, Jerr might encounter Sam and Julian as they, like, they're walking to Julian's and
They
the two of
cross
them
paths.
walking to the Aqua Rare.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, since it's only about, what, a 10-minute walk from
Yeah.
the station.
So, yes.
So we start heading to the Aqua Rail station, and we bump into Jerr.
Yep.
Hey.
Jerr,
Yeah.
so you might remember Sam,
Yeah.
the person we were looking for,
Yeah. We were looking for you.
all day. And he decided that he was going to go to my apartment and help himself to the inside.
You didn't even look in the refrigerator to see what he took from there.
If there was anything in the refrigerator.
Like, take out Chinese boxes and... Oh, you're the firefighter.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've met you a couple times now. One time you were pretty sloshed, though.
the Slippery Weasel.
Yeah.
That was a nice bar.
Everybody likes
Not
that.
anymore.
No. No, it was a nice bar. So we're on our way looking for my friend Chime.
Hold on. Let's take a step back. You were inside of Julian's apartment?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you invite him in?
No, he wasn't there.
We might have an issue then.
Me and Julian are okay with it.
Nope.
We might really have an issue with it then.
I'm not okay with you being in my apartment, but that's not the issue at hand right now.
Oh, well, yeah, same thing. Not the issue at hand. So let's go find Chime, and we can straighten this out.
I'm not sure if things will get straightened out when we find Chime. Chime north.
North.
I'm trying to find out if there's a connection there.
Reasonably so.
So, are we going to go?
We're going to go.
I think, yeah, that's slightly more important.
So we're going to head on the rail.
Okay.
To try and get back to Chime's place.
On the way to the Aquarail station, do we notice anything odd, any smells, any... I mean, there were people out when all this went down. Was there a ruckus? Do we know... Are there any scenes that we encounter?
What kind of scenes? Like, scenes of, like, someone just got firebombed and stolen, kidnapped.
You know, yeah, police hanging out in mass. Because, I mean...
Charged streets.
Right. I mean, there was a pretty hectic scene. One man trying to run from another, and then...
I'm assuming it's like what, around like 8 o'clock-ish now?
Yeah.
So it's not like too terribly late that everybody would be...
And it was only like 40 minutes ago he was kidnapped.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Oh!
9.
13.
9.
So combined...
No.
we know nothing.
You know nothing.
Okay.
Jon Snow.
Yeah, we go to the Aquarail station to go back to Chime's place.
No incident.
Okay. Let's knock on the door.
No one answers.
Oh. Is it unlocked?
No.
Huh.
A locked door is a sign of welcome, right?
No. So all three of us are in the scene. How do we want to do that?
We'll just have Johnny take care of Shade.
Okay, so Johnny, you are Shade for
Alright.
the moment. Okay, so the door's locked. Doesn't look like he's here. Maybe he's over... Maybe he went to work.
The military base?
Yeah.
They might have their public doors closed by now.
And none of us can get in there. Well, it looks
Neither
at...
of us can get in there.
It looks at Jerr and says like, neither of us... Yeah, you're right. We can't get in there. Apparently, you just let yourself in to wherever you want to go.
They're not lying.
Yeah, I might be able to...
That was not a suggestion. Because that can get us in some serious trouble.
So you don't want to go to the military base?
Not right now.
Did you want me to go to the military base?
Is that the only other place that you would suggest that he might be?
He likes that park next door.
So he's hung out at the park to everlasting success. He's hung out there. That's where we met with Crom, who told us about the GX35. Crom Delby.
Like, who is Crom Delby?
He's one of the people Healing Hands was interested in.
Jared just sort of frowns at that.
Where did you get that name from?
Gaspar Neary.
Okay.
That's not a name you had.
Crom, no.
Okay. Yeah, so Crom also works on the military base and is under investigation for the disappearance of the GX35.
So they're questioning Crom is being investigated for this disappearance of GX35.
Uh-huh.
All right, so he might be the fall guy or whatever is playing, because GX35 I think is somehow involved, but I don't think it's for what is apparent on the surface. It's not starting fires.
So you don't think that it's the GX35 that they've been using to
Start
these fires?
No. GX35 burns very hot. Extremely hot.
Yeah, I know that.
And all these other fires have not been that hot.
Okay.
Even though reports come out that GX35 was used. So GX35 is somehow involved, but somebody's trying to throw off the scent by saying they're starting fires. That's my assumption. Would he be hanging out at the park at this time in the evening? I mean...
I don't know. So when we were over at your building...
Breaking and entering.
Yeah. I mentioned that he would just go ahead and leave, and I'd be left alone. So he said that he was going to head back to his apartment.
He did not mention going anywhere else.
No, he said he was going to come straight back here.
Well, since we're right by the park, let's just walk over, check it out. And then I would say if he's not there, then yeah, we go sniffing around the military base.
Yeah, let's go check the park.
Roll investigation around the park, I guess. Okay. 22.
13.
8.
Okay, so you go to the park and you start looking around. You can see that there are surveillance cameras that are pointed towards the park.
And is this out of the ordinary, or they're normally there?
They're normally there, but if things happened suspicious, who knows? Maybe there's video of it.
This is the same park that Choler met Chime,
Yes.
or you saw Choler with the kids.
Yes.
I mean, there's no evidence that he came here. The only thing I would say is we know that going on your word, that he was coming from my place directly to his place.
Via the aquarail.
Is to retrace that route, be on the lookout, see if we can see signs of anything
You're
that
right.
would suggest the contrary.
You're right.
I mean, that's
It's-
probably going to yield something rather than going to the military base.
And I bet Chime does not seem like the type to mislead. If he said he was coming back here, he would come back here. So,
That you are aware of.
yeah, I've spent some time with him. I've talked to him a bit. I know people. He's honest about himself. So let's go see if we can find something along the path.
He might have some pretty sinister connections, just to let you know. So,
Don't we all?
you speaking for yourself, maybe everyone else here, but other than my reservations and looks around at the surveillance cameras and kind of sort of puts his reservations for the council.
Yes. Or the council.
Or the council.
For the council.
So you retrace your steps.
Doing some in-depth searching rather than just...
Okay.
I guess roll for anything that would be on the aqua rail.
Or the
Route.
path between
Yeah.
houses to the aqua rail.
Well, yeah. Okay. Path between Chime's house and the aqua
And the
rail.
aquarail.
Okay.
It's about a 5-minute walk. Or 10, maybe.
24.
Only 3.
It's a shame there's something to find.
You find everything there is to find.
Which is absolutely nothing.
Correct.
All right.
Then we get on the aquarail.
Same thing.
Okay.
18.
You're not even looking.
18.
Seems like someone recently refurbished the interior of this barge, but you don't notice anything in particular related to Chime.
Both of us notice that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Guys, I really, really and truly hate saying this. Beyond all reason, I hate saying this. But I think we should go to the hospital and see if Gaspar can help us with maybe a location of the bad guys.
We were trying to find a location of a possible bad guy. Well, one, maybe 2 bad guys right now.
He might be there, though.
And the other hand, I'm starting to get curious as to where my friend, compatriot, may have gone to.
That's who we're talking about.
Yes.
He might be where the rest of the bad guys are.
So let's finish checking this route. If we don't find him, then I agree. We can check with Mr. Neary. I have connections. We can get there.
It's not close to curfew time for me. Got at least 2.5 more hours.
Yeah, me either.
I guess nothing else on the aquarel.
Sorry.
Curfew.
Your curfew alarm just goes off.
Oh!
That's creepy.
Actually, with the state like this, that
Oh,
they could
man.
have an alarm like that where
Yeah.
everybody better be inside.
Well, no, you have your assigned
own.
watch.
Uh-huh.
That is, your curfew alarm goes off if you are not in your designated
So it's
area.
Yeah.
Oh! Ooh!
That's creepy.
I'm shivering a lot.
That means there's GPS technology tracking every single person at all times.
Well,
Yeah, some form.
Which could actually help your current situation.
Or it could really hurt us later.
yeah.
question is, how would they have that?
No, they
Yeah,
wouldn't have
that-
GPS.
That technology, unless there's a elemental on everyone's wrist,
Nope.
That's reporting locations. Because that was Elemental's power of the technology. That's what we
Okay.
figured
Yeah.
out.
So no GPS alarms. Just you have a card.
Yeah.
That says when you're allowed to be out.
So do we finish checking, or what's the agreement?
So you head back towards your place.
Yeah. Julian's gonna finish checking,
Okay.
regardless of what Jerr wants to do.
So we're heading back towards your place.
Yeah. So now we're looking on the route in between
Okay.
Aquarail and Julian's place. Oh gosh! Really,
So
the one that matters the most.
Jerr, can you roll a firefighting roll for me?
Coordination.
Yes, that's right. I rolled a 12.
I rolled a 14. We've been rolling so well, and the part where it really matters. And now it's like, meh.
10, 16.
Okay. Off on one of the side alleys, you actually see what looks like leaf ash, like pine needles and oak leaves, maple leaves.
Mm-hmm. The trees that
Yes.
are nearby.
You see the detritus of leaves that have caught on fire, and it looks like it forms the rough outline of a person.
Guys, I think I found something over here.
We will walk over.
There's-
walk over and check it out.
There's burn.
That looks suspicious.
Yeah, scorch marks that look like a outline of someone's body. Yeah.
With no body. Yeah.
Looking up any of the thermal imaging scanners close by.
Oh, go ahead and make an investigation roll.
22.
You find them.
He says, I might be able to tell if there was a fire elemental here that caused this.
I hope so, because if not, there's some serious, crazy stuff here, because I don't know what in the world is going to make a body-shaped scorch mark short of a fire elemental.
Just a body on fire. Seen it before.
Yeah, so have I. It's not a fun thing to watch.
That'll burn hot enough to scorch the ground?
Well, it's not
Depends
the,
on what the flame agent is.
It's not the, if you
Oh.
look carefully, it's not the area where the body was that's scorched. It's all the area around it.
Okay. Outside of my wheelhouse, but yeah, let's look.
Which means Julian would need to make a trip to the police station.
Okay. We'll go ahead and take care of that after these messages.
If you like dungeons with dragons in them, check out Alzamo Soup.
Phil, there's no dragons in these books.
I'm trying to reach our target audience.
Hi,
here.
everybody. I'm Metz.
I'm Phil.
And we're the hosts of Alzamo Soup, a literary podcast that focuses on analyzing long-form speculative fiction, with a focus on the author Gene Wolfe.
We really like to dig into the novels, going real slow and analyzing every little aspect of these books.
Phil is so excited about it, he has a shovel with +3 to digging.
Is that okay?
No, that's not a stat
Is that
at
a
all.
thing? Can I go to the Dungeons and Dragons store in the Dungeons and Dragons game and buy a +3 shovel? Please, please, please say yes.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Here.
I'm gonna roll to buy the shovel.
You fail. There are no shovels to buy.
This is nothing like our podcast.
Absolutely not.
Listen to Alzamo Soup at alzamosoup.libsyn.com or where all fine podcasts can be found.
We're talking about iTunes.
And Spotify.
All right, so half-hour walk to get to the police station.
Okay. Lights are going down. They're dimming the city for the night.
Okay. Julian walks into the front.
Do Jerr and Sam go in with him to the police station? Or do you guys wait outside? or-
Sam's gonna get outside.
And walk up to the desk and be like, hey, Jackson, how's it going? That good, huh?
Oh, the shift is just starting.
Just started for you, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be I don't even want to talk about it, but things are good.
All right, so I've got some more thermal images to look up. I know I haven't bought coffee from the last time,
Yeah,
so I'll always double.
you're going to...
You know I'm good for it. I mean, I always come in eventually.
I think we're going to need like 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I got you.
Okay. And bagels.
And bagels.
And bagels.
You know, there's no good bagel shops near me.
You know what? That's
I've
not
got
really my
all
problem.
head all the way into the central hub.
I can't help it that the great bagels are right in the center of the donut.
All right, fine. It's really important.
Awesome.
All right,
Singular
fist bump.
bagel.
Bagels for the win.
All right, so he goes in and he checks the thermal imaging scanners, just scrolling back through, sort of speculating the time that Chime would have been walking in that area.
Okay. And it's pretty easy to pinpoint because you know when you got there and you know when Sam got there. So it's probably somewhere in between there.
Yeah. And what do I find?
So you find a nice big white blotch in that alleyway. And then as you click forward a few frames, you can see that it's like the flame is died down, but the residual heat is being dragged. Like there's like a body being dragged to a manhole cover.
I want to look for a thermal imprint, not of the actual fire, but of something around it.
You mean like people around it?
Yes, sort of like, because the scans he has are the thermal imprint of the actual fire elemental on the other ones he was investigating. So he wants to see if there's a thermal imprint from a nearby fire elemental on those imaging scanners.
Yes.
Okay. Is it one that he recognizes?
It's 2 that he recognizes.
2?
Mm-hmm.
2 from Julian's apartment 6 months ago.
Yes. One of them is from the arsons that you've been tracking down.
Yes. So he's going to go back out and it's like, hey, Jackson, I printed off a couple images that I needed. And he lists the cross street and he's like, did you guys get any calls in for a disturbance in this location in the last hour?
No.
None at all?
I've been on the desk for the last hour and we haven't gotten any calls. But I mean, that is the buildings around there are abandoned, so.
Well, not all of them, but.
Well, I mean, like your block is fine, just a couple blocks over.
Well, yeah. But nothing came in. No disturbances.
Mm-mm.
And there's a pretty big scorch mark. There was significant heat signatures in that area within the past hour. So I was just wondering if anybody called anything in. Guess not.
No.
And wouldn't assume so, but that area of the town doesn't have any actual video surveillance.
Just the thermal.
All right. So 3 coffees and a round of bagels.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got you.
Don't forget the cream cheese.
You said nothing about cream cheese.
Whipped cream cheese.
You said
Thank
bagels. Bagels, Jackson, bagels. And he says, walks out the door.
Cream cheese, Illix, cream cheese.
He walks out and it's like, Jerr, I'm going to need you to pick up some cream cheese. And then he says, so, fire elemental, yes. 2 fire elementals, yes.
2?
2 fire elementals that were present at Gaspard's fire, yes.
Oh.
One of which has started most of the fires that I've been charged with investigating.
Okay.
So where did they go?
Apparently into the sewage system.
They're Ninja Turtles.
Okay, well, we can go track them down.
Yep.
Do you still think Chime is one of the bad guys?
That is yet to be determined.
Exactly. We don't know who grabbed him.
Or if he was the one being grabbed.
We don't. Well, that's true. Come to think of it, yeah. We don't know who was grabbed or if he was the one that did the grabbing.
Okay, so let's go find out. A big grin on my face.
Finally, something interesting.
Is that for just Sam to hear? Because, I mean,
No, he said
Julian
he said it to Julian, actually.
To Julian?
So Sam's gonna start walking towards the...
Towards
back towards where we were.
So, on the way, Julian's like, so, did you guys, and he's saying it, you guys, and he's not talking to Jerry, he's talking to Sam.
Out loud.
Yes.
Okay.
So, do you guys have anything to do with that fire at the military base? Because you were there.
No, I didn't. I had nothing to do with the fire.
But you were interested in it.
Weren't you?
I'm actually going to use one of my spells, Sense Motive.
Ooh, on who?
On you.
Oh!
In response to your question, Shade says, fires are interesting.
I'm talking a little bit more of a devious interest.
15.
I was interested in it because it's part of my investigation.
What's devious? We just want to see what was going on.
You sure you didn't want to go help who was causing the fire?
Don't know what started the fire.
Just for the record, Jerr did not make his spell.
Because this is a throwback to when
Yes, and
he was investigating outside and he heard the echo whisper, "Let's go help it."
Yeah.
And he saw the gleeful look of going to...
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh.
So he's putting the pieces
I
together.
had no interest in helping anybody. I'm always curious.
I like having fun.
I bet you do.
Jared's just like, this is a weird conversation.
Well, yeah, because you only hear like half part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't hear what Shade says.
So Shade is
And that last part was not. I bet you do wasn't external. So you hear parts of the conversation, and then the conversation just dies, and Julian just keeps walking.
I feel
You're
Shade doesn't ever
this
use
didn't
your voice
resolve.
when there's other people around.
There was no end to this conversation. There was no resolution. What just happened?
So we're
Yes.
walking back to that location.
Do you show us the pictures that you printed off?
I should.
You know, if you were just wanting to see the heat signature, I can help with that.
What do you mean?
I can show you the heat signature.
Again, what do you mean? That doesn't make any sense.
No,
How can
it
you
doesn't.
show me the heat signature?
Do you want me to show you?
Sure, go ahead.
And I'm going...
Did the Shade laugh like that? Well, hold on. And in his head, what was that about?
Oh, it's just something fun to do. No harm will come. I think. Yeah, no harm will come. It didn't last time.
He points at Jerry. So you're a water proxy. And you can heal, right?
Yeah.
Show. And he points to Jerry.
Excuse you?
Well, that'll work just as well on one as the other. And so I reach out to touch Jerr on the shoulder. And I say, "See."
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god! And on 7 dice, I roll 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With a target 8 with a target number of 20.
Rolled an 8 with 7 dice.
Wow.
Oh my god!
That's incredible.
Touch your shoulder and say "see," and nothing happens.
I have to give you a fate point for that because it's so ridiculous.
In Julian's head, Shade says, "See, no harm."
Well, yeah, legitimately, Julian's gonna be like, so what do you see? Like intrigued, like, what do you see?
See what? I don't even know what's going on. You guys aren't even making complete conversation.
Oh, that's because I'm talking to his elemental. Okay, Jeff, when I said that, Jeff, I actually started twitching. The look of confusion in his eye actually started twitching.
Oh, Jeff, you win.
That was some good role playing, Jeff.
So confused. He is so confused right now. He just hears Sam say "see" after touching his shoulder.
You don't.
And then
Julian's like,
"What'd you see?"
"What'd you see?" And he's just like, "Nothing. It's all absolutely nothing."
Oh,
I see you guys. I see the ground. I see the surrounding buildings. What am I supposed to see?
You don't see the colors? It must not have
Colors?
worked. It must not have worked that time. It doesn't always work.
Maybe it'll work with Julian.
Would you like to try?
Sure, why not?
Try what?
Apparently, he's gonna. This is part of the conversation that you should have heard because he said it and not the elemental.
try to see the color.
The thermal
images.
images.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm going to touch your shoulder and say "see."
Oh my gosh! It's a little bit better.
Oh, that was a 5.
A little bit better.
A little bit better.
But still not a 5.
Still not a 20.
16.
Yeah.
No, nothing. We can try again later. I just thought it would help.
What is the general state of mind of Shade?
Giggly.
Is giggly an actual state of mind?
I mean,
It's not malice. It's not anger. It's
rather mercurial, bubbly kind of.
just silly.
Yeah.
Okay, so not like devious.
No.
Okay. Because that
Actually
would
helping
be
you.
Julian's thought. Is like, all right, what is Sam actually trying to do? He's saying he's trying to do something, but yet he's probably done something else to the two of us.
I think Shade's attitude is like Shade's thought process is more like, I'm not actually helping you.
Well, because that's the thing. All of the magic comes from Shade rather than from me. So
Well, yes, true. So they get over to the spot, and he's going to look for where the manhole cover was that whoever was being dragged to.
Okay. You find it.
Try and pry it open.
Okay. That would be a physique roll. Do you have like
Physique. I don't have lifting.
I've got a pretty good physique. 11.
Yeah. So you're able to pry it open.
These things are always more heavy than I think they're going to be.
Too bad for an old guy.
What can I say? I stay in shape.
Julian's going to turn on his heat sensing tracker
Okay.
and go down there.
Okay. So it is wet,
Yes.
a little smelly.
Mm-hmm. And obviously his flashlight is out as well.
Okay.
Sam's gonna touch himself on the chest and say, "See." What's wrong with these dice? I guess 3 ones in a row on the wild die.
Go ahead and grab the pink one and roll that for your wild. Let's see if it gives you.
kidding. I didn't.
2. All right.
Better than the 1.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still
So-
not going to be enough.
14.
Still not enough. Okay.
And Shade giggles at you.
Do you have a spare flashlight there?
I do not. Jerr, do you come down?
Yeah.
All right, then he hands you the flashlight.
Okay.
Because he's got his
Oh, okay.
thermal thing
All
that
right.
he's
I
going
guess I'm leading the way then.
Yep.
But which way?
Yeah. The question is which way?
Anything on the thermal probably wouldn't range more than like 100 meters.
Yeah. You're not getting anything from the heat reader.
Didn't expect it. And
Yeah.
he's also going to pull out his 9mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's probably smart.
It's a good idea. Sam's gonna fall suit. What's the order of our... So you're leading the way?
Well,
We're kind of
trying
like
to think about this.
co-leading.
Julian is going to be next to Jerr.
I'm gonna be right behind, but kind of trying to stick towards the back part of the party.
You have the flashlight. Are you shining it around looking for things?
Yeah, I guess I'd be investigating.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation roll then.
Well, Julian's going to keep his eyes out as well, so he
Okay.
probably would. Since he's not picking up anything.
Nope. Don't see a thing.
20.
15.
As he's panning the light around, just looking, you see what looks like a black soot arrow pointing in a particular direction.
Stop. Shine back up there.
Okay.
So it looks like someone has drawn out an arrow.
Yeah, it looks like someone has summoned fire in their hands and then sooted an arrow onto the side of the wall.
So you could tell where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Sam goes, I think we should go that way.
Well, hold on.
You are drunk, and when you are drunk, you forget that I am the leader.
That should have been Shade had the slippery weasel the other night.
Yes. Shade is brownie.
He's going to say, hold on. I don't know what that arrow is there for. First indication. Somebody wants us to fall into this trap.
If it is a trap.
Maybe it's so someone else doesn't get lost down here.
I'm just saying we probably proceed with some bit of caution until we know what we're walking into.
Caution,
Right.
smoshin.
Caution is valid. I agree. Doesn't negate the fact that we should go that way.
Okay. All right, we go that way.
Okay.
Which way is that way? So we're up here. I assume it's south.
It's actually more towards the southeast. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Goes around the outer hub.
Yeah, that's gonna be like a 4-hour walk.
It's 4 hours to get from one end of the city to the other.
All right, so we're gonna follow the sewer that way.
So I'm going to use my water elemental to put out feelers ahead of us.
Okay.
See if there's anything in front of us or that we need to watch out for.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that.
Daggone snow crocodiles.
11.
You actually find a small boat.
A boat.
A boat.
Why is
I
there
start looking
a
around
boat?
with the
in a
flashlight for
sewer?
a boat.
There's also like a cache of food.
It looks like someone's been using the sewers for things less than...
Normal.
Normal people don't even use the sewers directly.
So on the side of the boat, there is an image of a winged dragon.
Or maybe a fire drake.
Maybe.
Are there any ladders to go up around the boat?
Looks like there's also this wasn't the only one tied up. You see another rope tied to the chain. That there's a ring in the wall that it's anchored to, and there was another rope that was tied to.
Guys, I think we found where we need to be.
So hold on, shine back to that symbol.
Symbol.
Would Julian recognize that symbol from anything, or would Sam?
I think the only one who's seen it is him.
Yeah.
Would Jerr?
Go ahead and make a history roll.
So I'm just gonna roll. What would be? Gosh,
Knowledge?
it's not really knowledge because everything
10.
that's under knowledge is
plus 1. 11.
things that you learn. What I'm trying to say is Julian would try and see if any of the things that he has. I mean, he's looked
That
through.
you've investigated.
Yeah, he's seen tons and tons of images. How well he can recall an image that he maybe might have seen. So,
That would be I would say that would be
it's more like a streetwise
yeah.
because it's not pulling on his previous knowledge. Yeah, rather than looking for something at that moment.
That would probably fall just under.
Oh my gosh!
I really don't like the way this campaign's going so
It would
far.
probably just fall under
These rolls.
knowledge
I
itself.
rolled 3 1s and a 5.
At least the 5 was the wild.
Yeah,
Could have been very different.
but I got a +2, so that's the 10.
Again, just like Jerry, you think you've seen this before, but you're not 100% sure. You know that you've seen it. You just don't know in connection to what.
But it looks like a winged dragon.
Knowing the name of the fire drakes. Do we know the name of the fire drakes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, knowing the name of the fire drakes, we might make that connection, but it would be very tenuous.
It's a stretch at this point.
It's a possibility,
It's
but
a
not a
possibility.
certainty.
Yeah. So a Julian probably wouldn't even mention it.
How well do you know your mythology?
Right. I mean, are we... I imagine we're not reading fantasy novels in our spare time.
Not really.
You're just
Are there fantasy novels in North Bellicin?
Right. Oh, it's
Probably not.
It's not council.
All.
It does
Recognized.
not glorify the council. It is
Right.
not approved.
Yeah, that's right.
It's no fiction at all.
Well, except for the council's history.
Have you ever
You're right.
have you ever read the articles about the theory that the Star Wars universe is probably illiterate?
I think you and I talked about it.
Yeah. You never see anybody actually read any written
But you do
text
see written.
You see written
stuff.
text to give information, but you don't ever see a piece of written art or a story or anything like that portrayed in a written format.
Or written signs,
You do see signs.
You do see signs, but it's to advertisements, how to operate a starship.
The ancient Jedi texts.
I was going to
That's-
say, except for
That's
that.
the first reference to books in the entire series of movies.
At least film series, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm imagining that this is kind of at that level where there's text all over the place, but it's very specific informational text.
Okay.
And gives you news and everything like that.
So do we want to look up the ladder? I can sneak in there and back out and no one will know.
Yeah, because we have no idea where we are in the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't shine the light on me.
Okay, he
Shines the light straight at you.
sort of shades it a little bit.
So Sam climbs up the ladder
Okay.
and attempts.
we just see her go up and then see. Dang it!
Have to turn to shadow and kind of squeeze through the manhole cover. 6 on the wild die.
Hey, geez, Aaron, get it on the table, man.
Shane's interest.
Okay, 24. 26. So I turn to shadow and I into
That little hole in the middle of
Yeah.
the manhole cover.
and I take a look around.
Okay.
Do I see anything?
Nothing of interest.
Okay, back down through the manhole. There's nothing up here. It's just a street. And I kind of talk about the area that we were in.
So while you all are working your way through the city following the marks, we're going to go ahead and cut over to Chime, who's having a lovely time.
So I'm sitting in the corner that they put me in to sit and watch them juggle fireballs.
Yep. And so Aylin is just sitting across from you, like she's sitting on the ground cross-legged, tossing a small ball of fire back and forth.
Aylin, you're very talented.
10.
Thank you.
So Aylin,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think of your dad's plans?
I think he's going to make things better.
You think he'll make things better? You know what he's trying to do, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to kill lots and lots of people.
Daddy says that sacrifices always have to be made. And that's one of the reasons why he says that you're weak.
Ouch. He's right that sacrifices have to be made, but what those sacrifices are not necessarily what he thinks. I'm not as weak as he thinks I am.
No, he says that you're only as weak as you think you are.
Very true. And that's what I mean. I'm not as weak as he thinks I am.
Background.
First belief.
Sacrifice brings about a better life for others.
Which daddy is she quoting?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the question.
I mean, my daddy's not the only one who says that sacrifice is important.
Like I said, I agree. Sacrifice is important.
My son says that too.
Your son? You're not old enough to have a son.
I'm older than you think I am.
Oh yeah? How old are you? Because if I had to guess, I'd say you're what? 7?
Yeah, you're off.
But how much?
A lot.
Now, am I talking to you, Aylin, or am I talking to
Oh yeah, you're talking to me.
your friend that lives inside of you?
No, just me.
I know that the one who gives you your abilities that make you so talented is certainly a lot older than you are.
Just me. And like a crest of flame just kind of travels from her forehead to the back of her head really quickly. And it's a sickly green color. Just me.
Calm down. I'm just trying to understand, because, like I said, you only look to be so old. You don't look nearly old enough to have a son.
It's not important.
So we agree that sacrifice is important to make things happen, right? For good things to happen?
Uh-huh.
What do you think that means?
Do you mean for people? Or do you mean for the planet?
To make things better for everybody.
If everybody was going to be better, they would need a strong leader.
What do you think a strong leader is?
Good question. What do you think?
I think a strong leader is somebody who looks out for those who he is trying to lead. Somebody who cares about the well-being of those less fortunate than themselves.
Someone who wants to make a difference. We agree.
What do you think sacrifice means?
Doing things. Giving something up.
Yes, giving something up. What do you think your dad is saying he should give up to make things better?
Well, your name's on the top of the list.
Do you think that's right?
You do seem pretty weak.
In what way? Because you were able to use special powers that I don't have to capture me?
That's one way.
I'm stronger than you in other ways, though.
Like how?
Well, for one, I know how to talk to people without losing my temper. That makes for much better communication.
No, you don't know how to talk to people without losing your temper. You know how to let other people walk all over you.
If that were true, I would not be in the position I'm in.
You mean talking to that lady, all sad and lonely?
What lady?
Your captain.
That's to deal with something completely different than the rest of my life.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. That's your whole life right there. Stuck in one place with nothing to do.
Everybody has to talk to somebody about their things.
It means you're weak.
That means I'm weak, huh?
Uh-huh.
So what do you do when something upsets you?
Make sacrifices.
You give things up, or do you give other people up?
Oh, who's getting mad now?
I'm not getting mad. I'm asking. Because a sacrifice is giving something up, correct?
It means giving up a relationship that doesn't matter anymore.
That's one kind of sacrifice.
I think I'm done talking to you now.
Very well. Just think about what I've said.
She keeps on sitting there, but she closes her eyes. And she rests her hands on her knees. It looks like she's pushing down on her knees, and a small band of flame just appears underneath her legs. And she begins to slowly rise off of the floor. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means that you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is @bonethrowerstheater, and also you can look us up on Facebook. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.